Hello everyone, this is Boyd. This is part of a project I started thinking of, I don't know, several years ago. Here's my Toro 522XI. Got a 52-inch deck on it. I mow the lawn on this property, and the grass just in the mowings in May and June, depending on how wet it is, the grass is thick and it's heavy and it doesn't dry off fast. And once I've mowed along the driveway, there's grass on the driveway. It's pretty hard to avoid blowing grass on the driveway, and I want to blow the grass off the driveway before I'm done mowing the lawn. And the deck itself, the right side discharge, sorry, it's a mess here in the barn, but the deck itself does have a pretty good airflow. It basically works as a fan, but it's limited. Well, I still have a few snowblowers sitting around. That's an older John Deere 524. The front there, that's the first stage. That's where the augers are. That part there behind the sledgehammer, that's the second stage. There's a fan inside there. Well, I have another one of those John Deere snowblowers in the grain bin next to the barn. I could use that, or I have an old Canadian walk behind two-stage snowblower. I have the front part of it. It was a little bit different design where it didn't have a worm gearbox on the front. There was actually an external gearbox on that one, where there wasn't a direct drive from the second stage fan up to the augers, but I could use that one too. But anyway, my plan was to maybe use my other John Deere snowblower, cut the front part off, like right there, and then just use that second stage as a fan, mount it somewhere here on the front of the tractor, and then use some hoses or something, or a nozzle, and make it so it blows air that way. And I've wanted to build it without putting another engine on the front of the tractor. I've thought of running a pulley from one of the deck spindles, maybe swapping. There's like stack pulleys up there. I got three 260 series 52-inch decks. This is a 5XI 52-inch decks. There's a little bit of difference between the two of them. Thought about running a stack pulley, putting a stack pulley on either the right outside spindle or the left outside spindle, running a belt forward up to a fan. But then, I got tires in the way. Okay, and then how do I mount the belts? And then, the deck moves around, the deck tilts, and then, okay, how easy will it be for the belt to come off? Of course, I'm not going to have this fan going all the time. I'd have some kind of tensioner lever turning it on only when I want to blow grass off the deck. I do have some small engines I could power this fan, but I really just don't want to have another engine sitting on the front of this tractor if I don't have to. So, right there, I still have the deck on from last fall. That's the most common pulley box for the Toro 5XI series. I have 4 of that style, and then I have one of a different style, which I have in one of my older videos from, I don't know, 2020, 2019, or maybe even 2018. But you'll have to go back and look for it if you want to see my video on the multiple styles of pulley boxes. Anyway, so I get extras of these. So right here, this pulley box on the left, that's the standard configuration of a pulley box for a Toro 5XI series and their cousins, the New Holland GT 18 through GT 22A. Well, I've been looking for a double idler pulley that I could mount in one of these pulley boxes. So, okay. So this right here, this is a double pulley, double idler pulley. So idler pulley means it has bearings on it. So it doesn't have a shaft in it for a fixed shaft. It actually has bearings built into it, so it spins independent of what it is bolted to. So I don't know, 7, 8, 9, 10 years ago, I got a I don't know, it was a Yard King or whatever, one of them MTD brand excuse me, lawn tractors I bought really cheap, and I parted it out. Well, I kept this double pulley. This double pulley sat on the back of the mower deck, and a belt came back to it, and then I think this was the upper pulley, this was the lower pulley. This pulley sat this way, sat flat like that. Well, it looks like I will be able to modify this and mount this double pulley on this pulley box. I just kind of got it propped in there. It's not actually bolted in. So see, it's flopping around. Let's see there. The bolt that this thing sits on, darn, that's a fairly thick bolt. That looks like, I don't know, 5/8. It's not a 3/4. I think it's about a 5/8. So in order to mount it, I would have to drill this hole out to put one of these bolts through. But see that? Yeah. It would just clear this knob, this tensioner knob right here. So this would be the pulley in place of this pulley. So this baby would spin. So the standard deck, the belt that comes down from the PTO to here goes down, goes towards the back, towards the mower deck. And actually, the size of the pulleys on this are really darn close to the size of this, except, this is the 5XI pulley I pulled off of here. Except this one's a little bit wider, a little bit deeper. But anyway, so once I get this baby mounted, hopefully it all works well, I could cut a notch in here, wide enough for a belt, run belts forward up to the fan that would mount on the front of the tractor, right up in here. And I forgot, I should have said my disclaimer at the front, at the beginning of the video. When you modify your tractor, if you're going to modify your Toro 5XI tractor or an equivalent New Holland GT 18 through GT 22A, you're on your own, buddy. You're making your own risks. I'm not liable for what modifications you make to your tractor. So, but I think I can finally get this to her. I have been looking. It would be great. It would be even better if I could find a double pulley in which they are just the pulleys are just right next to each other. That would be preferable to this one, where there's about an inch just a little bit over an inch gap between these two. But yeah, I dug through the grain bin in the last hour, and I thought I had this. I thought I had saved this part from that mower deck. I got to one of the bearings. Let's see. One of the bearings for this one is stuck, so I got to replace one bearing. I might as well just replace both of them. But when I take this out, there's the spacer, and then there's another bearing on the other end. I have found these on eBay. There are multiple suppliers that sell this. One on eBay. I don't have the part number. But I will, once I post, after I'm done posting the video, I will post the part numbers, or what part numbers I found on Google and eBay and Amazon. But there are aftermarket companies selling this replacement pulley set. There's some on eBay you can find for the item including shipping for under $40 to the lower 48 states of the United States. So hopefully these pulleys aren't too expensive. But well, if I will post at least one more video once I make progress on this. I got some other projects I'm working on right now, and need to replace a tie rod on one of my Rangers. But it's early April, so I don't imagine I will be mowing grass for another month. Here is. This is. Oh, that's okay. That's basically a double stack pulley. There are double stack pulleys that are on the bottom of a lot of lawn tractors that don't have an electric clutch. Basically, where the shaft of the engine goes through, and there's various widths of pulleys, various belt size they're made for, and then there's various distances between the pulleys, but those are called stack pulleys. But this one, I think it was fall of 2019, I was scrapping a bunch of lawn tractors, and I scrapped one deck. I do not know what brand of mower deck it was. I don't know if it was a MTD or Murray or maybe one of the other brands, but I cut the deck up. I specifically saved this spindle. If anybody knows what brand tractor it was from, because the mower deck spindles themselves, the case for each deck spindle looked exactly like that. They all looked like that, but this one was like an idler spindle. I thought about trying to mount this in here, but there's just not enough room. Just not enough room. At least it sure doesn't look like there's enough room. There's double idler pulley. Well, I got it out in my truck that I bought on eBay like 2 or 3 years ago, in which the pulleys are. There's no gap between them, but they're only for a 1/2 inch wide belt, and they're for an old Mopar, and that's a double idler pulley. But just these Toro 5XI tractors use a 5/8 inch wide belt going from the PTO to the mower deck, and I believe the mower deck spindles themselves also use a 5/8 inch belt too. But anyway, well, I'm gonna go. Once I'm awake today, I'm gonna see how hard it is to find bearings for this. Maybe I could even just find this bearing in Napa. Napa can be quite the good place to get specific parts. You can even get, last I checked, you can, if you have an old car you can't get brake pads for or brake shoes for, they have a company that will reline them for you. So, well, I think I've yacked long enough on this subject, so I will post an update once I've gotten more done on this project, which I don't imagine will happen for at least a couple weeks. Anyway, thanks for watching. See you later. Bye.